Good evening on what is a mild, bright and sunny day. It is Tuesday the 16th of May. I've got a nice hot cup of tea and parcel to unbox. So what I've got in here is a copy of This Charming Man by Caimh McDonnell, and this is the sequel to The Stranger Times, which I did an unboxing of recently, and I actually found time to read and enjoy and actually participate in discussion about it in a book club. So they're here, they're hungry, they're news. The Stranger Times investigates This Charming Man, and vampires do not exist. Everyone knows this. So it's particularly annoying when they start popping up around Manchester. Nobody is pleased about it, not the founders, the secret organisation for whom vampires were invented as an allegory, nor the folk, the magical folk, or magical people hiding in plain sight who really only want a quiet life. And definitely not the people of Manchester, because there is nothing more irksome than having your blood drained by an allegory run amok. Somebody needs to sort this out fast before all hell really breaks loose. Step forward the staff of the Stranger Times. Although it's not like they don't have enough to be dealing with. Assistant editor Hannah has returned from getting messily divorced to discover that someone is trying to kidnap a member of their staff. And while editor Vincent Bancroft would be delighted to see the back of any one of his team, he doesn't like people touching his stuff. It's the principle of the thing. Throw in a precarious plumbing situations, gambling debts, an entire new way of swearing, and a certain detective inspector with what could but kindly be referred to as a lot of baggage, and it all adds up to another hectic week in the life of the newspaper committed to reporting the truth that nobody will touch. Here then, for your delectation, is the second righteously entertaining novel in the Caimh McDonnell's Stranger Times series. There we go. There is Caimh McDonnell. That's I believe that's Caimh. The C stands for Caimh, which is actually Gaelic for Kevin. So the Stranger Times. Now this is an urban fantasy book or novel, part of the Stranger Times series. It's set in Manchester, in and around a newspaper which reports on fortean phenomena. So yes, vampires, other monsters, hauntings, particularly in the Stranger Times. There was a possessed toilet found in a Glasgow pub, which became part of a sort of a bidding war and a race to get hold of and get a front page for the Stranger Times. The Stranger Times itself is sort of like, is like the National Enquirer, a cross between the National Enquirer and the Fortean Times, but done on the cheap, and so on, but with variable editorial standards. And so I did enjoy reading Stranger Times, and I think that there are a couple of issues I think I found with it. Sort of like some of the characterisation wasn't particularly strong. Certainly, sort of like the main character Hannah comes across as a bit sort of like underwhelming or as interesting as a character, because one of the things about this series is it really, anytime a new or newish urban fantasy series comes along, especially ones obviously because it's urban, being set in a city, gets compared to Rivers of London, and Rivers of London's got a strong characterisation, a strong sense of place, because it's written by a Londoner, it's seen through the eyes of a Londoner, and that comes through. And it is really kind of with the concept of the Rivers of London each having spirits. It's tied to the city geographically as well as spiritually, and in that all comes across. With This Charming Man, not quite so much. Or with the Stranger Times series, not quite so much. And one of the things I did enjoy about the series, let's see if I can. Here we go. Let's see. Is just flipping. As these sections now are not as well done as in the first book, because they were kind of made to look like essentially excerpts taken from the pages of the Stranger Times, and these are short newspaper reports in the paper. So one in your eye, and Mrs. Philomena Dolan has been arrested in Blackpool for scattering her father's ashes on the beach. Local police inspector Arnold Waldron said, "We appreciate people want to respect the last wishes of a loved one, but it's not permissible to do this on a busy Saturday in June." Mrs. Dolan responded that she is only fulfilling express wishes laid down in her father's will. Throughout his life, Dad had many enthusiasm. Doing loud DIY early on a Sunday morning, learning the bagpipes despite not being Scottish, and cooking fish in the office microwave even though he was a vegetarian. He showed he lived to be annoying. The thought of his remains ending up in the ice, swimming trunks and ice creams of as many people as possible really tickled him. So yes. So amusingly, the cover is quite a little bit of a gag there. You've got a coffin and the tag "out to lunch," I've just noticed. So yes, if you find that on a coffin, you've really got to worry. This is quite a lengthy book. It's longer than the other one, but yeah, if you want to find out more, go grab yourself a copy of The Strange Times. It's obviously in print. It's an enjoyable read. I enjoy reading it. And then you can pick this up as well. This one is going to my partner because she wants to read the next one in the series before I get to it. So anyway, that's This Charming Man, part of the Stranger Times series by Caimh McDonnell. Hopefully we'll find out more about the setting in the book, because that's one of the things I wanted to know more about when I was reading the book. What are the types of monsters you encounter in the book, and how are they classified, because they are classified in the book, and sort of who more sort of like the creatures and what they are. So I was interested in that as well. Anyway, This Charming Man by Caimh McDonnell. Hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a parcel containing a book or game, in this case a novel, which I'll unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing of the Nook. Back again soon with another one. Bye for now.